Now, back to Pedro Fernandez with the MMA Hour.
Check it. The clock says 12 minutes past the hour. Hour number 2, of course, on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Today, of course, Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Coming to you at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturdays and Sundays. The Saturday show, an hour. The Sunday show, this is the Sunday show, a 2-hour edition. Now, Johnny Sig's on the line from Las Vegas. Sig, welcome back to hour number 2. Let's talk about the best fighters in the heavyweight division as we speak. Anthony Joshua, the best?
Ooh, tough question, man. Let's see what happens when he takes on Jarrell Miller. And, of course, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury have that rematch. And, in my opinion, it's the winner of Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder that is the best heavyweight in the world, until Joshua fights one of the two of those guys.
Jarrell Miller, 23-0, of course, an American. Those guys are going to duke it out at the Garden. The Garden sold out in 2.5 hours. That was a bit mind-blowing, but Larry Birch has sort of solved that riddle for us when he said that all those travel agencies in the UK bought up all the tickets.
Well, absolutely, but that does show the interest in Joshua globally, and that's what we knew going in. And so that's a good look. I mean, money's coming in. That place is going to be rocking and rolling, man. You're going to see celebs there big time, artists, musicians, actors. It's going to be a hot night at Madison Square Garden, and, man, I'm envious I cannot be there.
Trying to do a lightning round here, folks. So let's go to the cruiserweight division, of course, 200 pounds or less. Currently, the number one guy is Oleg Usyk. He's moved into the heavyweight picture. Who else is the best at 200 pounds?
Briedis, Gassiev, Dorticos. There's a couple guys there. And they're having that super series, the World Boxing Super Series on DAZN. I believe it's going to reboot again coming up in May, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see who the best is there since Usyk has left that division.
Interesting. Let's talk about 175 pounds now. Sergey Kovalev recaptured the WBO crown. Is he the guy at 175?
I tell you, man, I like Alexander Gavastek. He's a good fighter. You got Marcus Brown there. You got Arthur Beterbiev. You got Dmitry Bivol there. And I tell you what, all those guys I just mentioned, unbeaten. That is a hot division. And you got Kovalev now coming back off that rematch win off of Lito Alvarez. So that's a division to certainly look at. And plus, you got guys like Joe Smith looming in the background. So we see what's up.
Super middleweight, 160 pounds, the former division one that brought us, of course, the Andre Ward. Of course, Andre Ward, the Olympic gold medalist, when he was at his peak at 168, he was untouchable. Whether you thought he was entertaining or not, something different, but he was untouchable at 168. Anyway, Callum Smith, Chris Eubank, Gilberto Ramirez, Rocky Felding, Jesse Hart. Are these guys? Is there some missing guy here at super middle I'm not coming to, or who's the best?
There's a couple guys there. Jesse Hart as well. Brahmer's there, who was in the World Boxing Super Series as well. Here's what's up. Gilberto Ramirez, I believe, is moving up to 175, which will be amazing. David Benavidez is finally coming back after a coke bender. We're going to see him on an undercard coming up very soon. I believe it's the undercard to Earl Spence and Mikey Garcia. So I expect David Benavidez to be the man at 168 if he could keep clean. And, of course, if Gilberto Ramirez moves up, then he don't have to deal with him for a minute. So I see David Benavidez doing well if he could stay clean.
He's got to, listen, anybody that has a coke problem and it becomes public without you getting popped, you've got to be a real idiot. Sometimes, I mean, somebody's airing your dirty laundry, man. That's just not good. Your game is not together if people are knowing exactly what you're doing in your personal life. Then you've got John Jones in the world of mixed martial arts bragging about the fact he snorts a few lines before a fight. Anyway, let's go to junior middleweight. I take that back, middleweight. We've got the man, Saul Alvarez. Anybody else at 160? Danny Jacobs, Rob Brandt. Anybody can really crack that egg at 160 and beat Saul?
Of course, Canelo is the money man taking on Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is a good fighter. I like that fight. Let's see what Danny brings to the table. I like that only in Canelo's second fight of the DAZN deal. They're putting him in deep waters. We know Danny Jacobs is the good. Of course, Triple G, let's see what he does. He's been quiet. I have no idea what's going on with him. He's got no network to host him yet and no dates announced. Weird.
And he's getting old. He's getting old. He's getting real old. Let's go to 154. Jaime Munguia. Is he the guy, the WBA guy with 32 fights unbeaten? Is he the best 154 right now?
That's what's up. Give me Jaime Munguia versus Jarrett Hurd. I'm looking forward to that one. There's a guy, Sergio Garcia, down there. It's very good. Julian Williams, only one loss, still looming. Lara's still going. And you got Jermell Charlo there.
Wait. But you didn't mention Tony Harrison. Shame. What happened? Tony just beat one of the Charlos, didn't he?
He did, but, that was a close fight, Pete. Come on.
Wait. But that was a close fight or was it a ripoff? If it's a close fight, you still should be giving us props for being the winner.
You gotta state the obvious. He's an obvious name.
Well, are you trying?
He brings money.
Oh, Tony Harrison don't bring no money. Tony Harrison.
No, but Charlo does.
Yeah, but let's be honest though. Did Harrison? Harrison won the fight there, and you didn't mention him in this under 60 in this 154-pound mix. You mentioned the Charlo brothers. Here's what's up. I didn't hear the Charlo brothers mention Al Heyman on that last show they did, and I didn't see their mama looking too happy. Mama Charlo was upset.
I was going to say Mama Charlo didn't thank Al either.
147 pounds, of course, the golden division right now in the world of boxing. In the minds of some, the golden division in the past, with people like Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns. I can go on and on. Bottom line is right now, Earl Spence is a guy, without a doubt, 24 and zip out of Texas, don't you think?
I agree, and Terrence Crawford's right there. Manny Pacquiao still going. Sean Porter's a guy I always like to watch. Let's see what's left of Danny Garcia. He's a little streaky of late. And then you got, who else is there? Keith Thurman, who's back. We see what Keith decides to do, if he wants to fight sometime this year or just...
Time out, man. Keith Thurman smokes more weed than me. Okay, so...
Hey,
I don't... Listen... Weed and boxing don't mix at the professional level, man. I mean, you can play screw around and chill at night and this kind of stuff, but if this is part of your lifestyle, it's probably not going to be all that good for him. But let's move from 147 to 140 pounds before we go to the break. 140 pounds, you like this division. You say it's hot, it's happening. Progress, Taylor, Hooker. Talk to me.
Regis Prograis at the top. Jose Ramirez, who we just saw, didn't look too great last week. Antonio Orozco's there, Maurice Hooker's there, also Josh Taylor, Pablo Cano, Sergey Lipinets, Victor Postal, Amir Imam. This division is deep, and I like it very much, Pedro. I'm looking forward to seeing great things from Regis Prograis. He's my favorite at 140.
135 pounds. We have to move Mikey Garcia out of the picture because he's going to be damaged goods after Earl Spence. But Mikey Garcia has to be considered, I think, one of the best, if not the best, at 135. The Lomachenko, maybe he's a little bit overrated at 135, seeing that, the guy that knocked him down, Jorge Linares, got lit up like a White House Christmas tree in his very next fight.
Yes, he did. And at that division, I like Richard Comey there. I'd like to see him take on Lomachenko eventually. Devin Haney's coming up. Jose Pedraza's still there. Javier Fortuna. Miguel Mariaga. So it's not a bad division. And Robert Easter, so that 135 looking all right.
Taking it to 130, baby. Who's the best at 130, Johnny Sig? Tell me. Who do you think? Gervonta Davis doesn't do anything for me.
Miguel Burchett. That's the fight I want to see. I want to see Miguel Burchett versus Gervonta Davis. We saw Machado get beat last week. Maybe he comes back. You got Francisco Vargas there, Miguel Roman, Andy Cancio, still Tevin Farmer, who comes to mind immediately. Not a bad fighter. I like his story. Had a rough start to his career, but really has come on of late. But Miguel Burchett at 130 is the man.
126 pounds, the famed 126-pound division. Leo Santa Cruz, victorious this weekend. Is he the best at 126, or is he my WBO guy behind me, Oscar Valdez? Which one?
I like Valdez, man. He's coming up looking good, unbeaten, champion for the WBO. I like him for sure. Now, there you also have Gary Russell. I wish he would fight more.
Oh, come on. Hey, did Gary Russell pay you to say that? Are you Gary?
No, he did not.
Are you hanging out with Gary Russell on the weekends or something? Because anybody that would come up with Gary Russell out of that, it just blows me away. I mean, he's so unentertaining.
I know, but effective and whatnot. I wish he would fight more. You mentioned Valdez. He's great. Leo Santa Cruz, I like him. Big volume puncher, but, man, he can't crack an egg at all, man. He can throw like 2,000 punches in a fight and can't hurt you. That's ridiculous to me.
One more division before the break. Let's go to 122 pounds, and you know who I like at 122. I'm talking about the WBO guy, man. Emmanuel Navarrete, once beaten 26-1. But who else at 122 shines for you, Donnie Sig?
T.J. Doheny, Ray Vargas, and Luis Neri. That's my guys right there. But your guy right there is also my guy, Navarrete, man. All the props in the world. You know about it, beating Isaac Dogbo. And, of course, Isaac Dogbo was cursed by the WBO convention. Him and Eleider Alvarez both went to the convention, and they both lost fights they were supposed to win. So, and then I went down there and met a chick I thought was a winner, and she turned out to be losing. It was a bad convention.
You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Johnny Sig stays with us, of course, on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
You're listening to the MMA Hour.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit. And 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
Now, more of the MMA Hour with Pedro Fernandez.
You name the game, but anything you start, I figure to finish.
I think that was like the $6 million man, straight up back in the days when he was doing the Big Valley. 118 pounds, of course, the bantamweight division. And this guy that hails out of Thailand, Johnny Sig, little scary. He's 47-4-1. WW, I don't know what his name is this week, but I think he was born Wisakal Wangek.
That's right. He was born Wangat, but nowadays goes by Nayola Enui, I believe, right?
Anything?
No, wait, we're talking about Sorung Vasai.
He's got a sponsor's name.
That's right. Sorung Vasai, he's going by nowadays. And he's nasty. Well, you had mentioned a monster. I'm thinking of another monster, Nayola Enui, who's also around that weight class. I like to see the two of those guys go toe-to-toe one day. When we get down around that weight category, you got Nonito Donaire down there, Carlos Quadras.
He's done, man. Donaire is way. I saw Donaire's last fight. I thought, between you and I've known the kid since birth almost, okay? And I really think that he should have bowed out. He wasn't supposed to win that fight. He did. He should have done what Michael Carball did in that last fight where he was not supposed to win against Jorge Arce. He ended up upsetting Jorge Arce after getting his head handed to him for a few rounds. And he said to him, he was smart enough to realize, this was my gift. Let me walk away. That was his gift.
Yeah, he had lightning in the bottle also with Victor Darchinyan, and I know you and Nonito go back. I'm going to be honest, Pete. When it goes under 130 pounds, I start to lose my interest. Mainly for what I was talking about before, about Leo Santa Cruz, is these guys can't crack an egg. Not that I need to see
because
violence
they're punching with
destroyed.
they're punching with 8-ounce gloves, and they're small little guys. In other words, if you got a guy punching with an 8-ounce glove at 122 pounds, 126 pounds, and you've got some guy punching with a 10-ounce glove at 265 pounds. What's happening? That's a severe disadvantage to the kid that's 126 pounds because he's carrying a significant proportion of a higher proportion of weight than the guy that's 265.
No, I feel you. But regardless of whatever my thing is that these guys, I don't even know if you give them baseball bats.
Okay, Roman Gonzalez. Wait, Roman Gonzalez. He got he was a guy that got Max Kellerman stiff without Viagra. I mean, what happened to Roman?
He got taken out by aforementioned, a couple fighters we mentioned in the lightning round there. So it happens, man. Some guys could crack a little bit, some guys can't. At the lower weight, I remember like Prince Nassim was really good at taking guys out, but it's very few and far in between where people have that explosive power. That's why Gervonta Davis is kind of good at 130 because I believe he does have some serious power. But, I mean, if you look at the list, anything south of 130, man, a lot of guys can't crack too much.
That doesn't say too much. You got guys like, Donnie Natus, who's a Filipino star. He's 42-1. Inoue is doing his things down there at these lighter weights. And these guys, they're appealing to their demographics. They're just not all that entertaining. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, man. I mean, they are entertaining in that they will give you great combinations, looks of good angles, speed, athleticism, but it's like the drama isn't there because you don't feel, at least in my opinion, I shouldn't say you don't feel, but in my opinion, I feel that there's no consequence. At the end of the day, it's like you don't see guys get burned too often. Now, it does happen. Explosive knockouts do happen down there. I'm not saying they don't, but they just don't happen frequently enough.
Oh, Sonny just sent me a text here. Yeah, Michael Carbajal and Chiquita Gonzalez did back in 1993 have one of the greatest fights of all time, of course, at the Las Vegas Hilton, I think. Anyway, but, it was what it was. But if you have one fight at 108 pounds or 112 pounds, I just don't know if it's enough to sustain a division. Let's talk about the best women fighters pound for pound in the world. Pound for pound, who is the best female boxer out there? And this sort of,
good question. There's a couple
time
good
out.
ones.
And I'm doing this with an asterisk next to it because I'm doing this because they've called us being sexist and being anti-women boxing, this kind of stuff. We love Amanda Serrano. She delivers. Anyway, bottom line is, outside of don't include, who is the best?
Okay, Cecilia Brækhus is there. Clarissa Shields is decent. She could take on Christina Hammer, who's also good. Katie Taylor's okay. Heather Hardy's okay. Michaela Mayer. Now, here's what's up. I could have went into this saying, do we really have to talk about this, Pete? But I just took a big verbal dump on anything south of 130 all the way down in the men's divisions. So I didn't want to take a dump on these ladies. I will say this, women, if you're listening. We are not sexist. We are big supporters of females in combat sports. If you listen to us regularly, we support women more often in MMA than we do the men as they entertain us for days. All we're asking, ladies, is bring the pride, bring the passion, bring the commitment, show us excitement. Don't walk in entitled. And listen, again, there's not many knockouts on the resume of these ladies. If you look, I mean, a lot of them have like 20-something fights, 1 KO. Not that everything is the KO, but we need electricity. We don't want to watch 10 rounds all the time. There's not enough time in the day, especially with boxing and all the combat sports that's out there in the world. So, ladies, just bring a little bit more passion.
I just think they need to shoot off that stool. I mean, I shot off that stool, man. I mean, bottom line is it didn't run straight across the ring. It took a couple steps to the right or the left, but the point was I shot off that stool. I'm ready to go. I'm going to use all 180 seconds here. What I'm saying? And I'm going to do my thing. And women are going to, let me show some jabs here. And let me Clarissa Shields. I mean, Clarissa Shields, let me tell you, Clarissa Shields is the best prescription for insomnia going. You want to go to sleep. If you're a tweaking crack addict, you want to kick crack, you want to kick meth, just go to YouTube.com. I'm pretty sure they even put her up there. But Clarissa Shields fights, you can watch her fights and go to sleep. No doubt about it. Slumber time. And that's just the way it is.
I have to admit, and I wanted to like her. I like her story. She seemed very passionate coming up, followed her for a long time. But it's like, if you keep just giving me duds, and you make me like think about what I'm doing, wasting my time. And I wake up the next day and like, you know what? I wasted an entire night of my life. And you wake up feeling dirty about it. Like, why did I do that? Like, you had a terrible one-night stand. Like, what did I do? What did I go to bed watching last night? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we get these situations where these women, please just entertain us. Come out with a little bit more passion. We will support you because we want to.
Well, you know, but it would take me. I couldn't get up for some of these women fights with like 1,000 milligrams of Viagra. Let's talk about the best fighters pound for pound in the world of boxing. Of course, Saul Alvarez signing that $375 million contract. Does that make him the best pound for pound or just the most highly paid?
Certainly makes him the money man, and I'd like to see him against Danny Jacobs, getting a couple of victories in a row. Obviously, we look at if he beats Jacobs coming off the Triple G fight, that would be a big thing for him to make his claim for the top pound for pound. Crawford and Spence, still my guys, tied there. I love Usyk. We know that. Alexander Usyk, man, I can't wait to see him. Rumors are coming up heavy that he's going to be moving to the heavyweight division. I'm waiting for a date from the Zone soon. We mentioned Inoue and also Sarungbasai. And, of course, you got to consider Tyson Fury, the way he boxes as a heavyweight. And you've never really seen a guy so athletic and just so hard to figure out. And now we know he's got the intestinal fortitude of unlike anything I've really ever seen in my entire life in any weight category. And then you also got to look at the fact that I think he hurt Deontay Wilder in the last fight. A lot of people don't talk about that. Tyson Fury was turning into some of those shots. And I think that's what kept Deontay Wilder off of him for the finish in round 12. So, you know, a couple great guys, obviously, at the pound for pound. Mikey Garcia, Lomachenko, Deontay Wilder. I mean, boxing is great right now, Pedro. We went through that lightning round. Listen to all those great names we fired off. Whether you place them at one or two or say a guy has a loss or a few, I mean, these are all guys that have tremendous skill. And all I'm asking for from the promoters is keep them, you know, on our minds by putting on good cards and make the best fight the best.
All right. Andre and Arturo, listen on K-Shop, 1400 in Vegas, your fellow Las Vegas resident, so I won't give out your address, okay? But they are aghast at the fact that you poo-pooed on anything below 130 pounds or 126 pounds. They said some of the most exciting fights are like at flyweight, this and that. I guess they're flyweights.
I can't do it, guys. I'm sorry. You know, I mean, if that's for you, I applaud you, and I hope you enjoy the content. It's just I don't find it very excitable. I like watching anyone with a weight class. In particular, 135 is my favorite zone to 175. And right now, because of the great personalities we have in the heavyweight division, like guys we even mentioned before, like Daniel Dubois coming up, Joe Joyce, Dillian White, of course, has been established there for a while. You know, Adam Kownacki, who's a great TV fighter. How do you not like the heavyweight division now? So I'm sorry, man. I can't get into the lower weight.
39.
I know the guys.
39-0. Mikey Garcia stepping up a whole lot of weight, 2 weight classes to take on welterweight. I'm talking about Earl Spence. Spence undefeated, I think, in 24 fights. Is there any hope for Mikey Garcia here, except for him getting paid and not getting hurt?
Of course, there's hope. He's a good boxer. He's very confident going in. You know, you look at him. He had good wins against Bronner, Salido, Lipinets, Robert Easter, etc. You know, but for me, it's like Spence definitely passed that eye test with wins over Cal Brock, Algieri, a little bit slightly better class here, Phil LaGreco, etc. You know, but he never had that fight against Thurman or Garcia, so there is a question mark for Spence. Like, all right, now he beat the B-plus guys, but how would he be against an A-level fighter? I consider Mikey Garcia an A-level fighter, but we have a situation that he's moving up in Garcia 2 weight classes, you know. So we see what we get here. I favor Spence, but I think it will be a competitive fight for the first 6 rounds. I think size will prevail down the stretch. Man,
you were talking about a guy that throws body shots at 147 pounds. It's really like a middleweight shrinking down to 147 pounds in Earl Spence, of course, out of Dallas, Texas, 2012 Olympic gold medalist, I believe. And the guy that Bob Arum said was the MVP in the 2012 games, and he was upset that he didn't get him. Coming up on a station break here on the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Johnny Sig sticking around. Open phone lines all around the planet. 1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-7529. Or the hot, the guilt-free, no commitment text line. You can text us in the studio. 415-275-1613. The text line, once again, 415-275-1613. You're tuned to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM, Satellite Radio, Channel 211, of course. We're live on Twitch.tv.
You know, I want to fight in where I'm from. There's hella Mexicans and shit in here. Everybody keep booing me and shit. They want rice and chicken. I want some motherfuckers that want some conies around me.
You're listening to the MMA Hour.
Hey, Rick Tittle here. I have to shave. Even though I'm not the hairiest person in the world, I'm basically a Ken doll with headphones on, but I need to shave. What are you going to use that's not going to make hamburger out of your face? The throwaway razor, electric razor, straight razor? I found it in Harry's. You know, Harry's founders themselves, they were tired of paying up for razors that were overpriced and over-designed. So we have a deal for you. Go to harrys.com/game right now. Get a $13 value trial set that comes with everything you need for a close, comfortable shave, with a weighted ergonomic handle, 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel, travel blade cover. And remember, you can get your trial set by going to harrys.com/game. Rick Tittle, 2 thumbs up for Harry's. You know, they bought a world-class blade factory in Germany for just this purpose. harrys.com/game.
How many of us have looked at our finances and screamed, how can we make this much and still have so much debt? It just creeps up on us, right? Unexpected repairs, replace the washer and dryer, medical bills, and the killer, those insane interest credit cards you had to use to pay for it. Here's a really smart move that could help you get on top of your finances. Get a fixed-rate personal loan at bestegg.com. The rates are great right now. Imagine finally being able to pay down those crazy high credit cards and bills and then bank the money you save each month. Consumers have rated Best Egg 4.8 out of 5 stars on Consumer Affairs because of the super easy online loan app that takes about a minute with no impact to your credit score. Upon approval, funds can be deposited in as little as 1 business day. Get your bills under control, bank what you save, and take control of your finances with a loan from bestegg.com. Visit bestegg.com/plan. bestegg.com/plan. bestegg.com/plan.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
You know, he went on the road to beat Vladimir Klitschko in a fight. He was a 6-1 underdog. Here he is on the road against Deontay Wilder, looking for all the world like he's pulling another upset.
There's a right cross that lands for Fury. Oh, God, down goes Will Fury. Mamma mia! Deontay Wilder has done it. Knocking down Fury in round 12.
He's up. Can you continue? Wow, he got up. You want to go? Walk over there and come back to me.
Incredible turn of events here in the 12th. Left hook, right hand. Deontay Wilder all over Fury.
Beautiful right and the left hook. He hits his head on the canvas. At that moment, did anyone in this arena really think Tyson Fury was going to get up? He did.
That is toughness, man. I can't.
He did.
And credit to Jack Reese for not stopping it. You know how many referees will get on my nerves and don't count when a guy goes down like that? Credit to Jack Reese for counting.
That's the best comment anyone's made all night. That's exactly right. Jack Reese comported himself perfectly.
Guys, I thought the fight was over when Deontay Wilder dropped Fury.
You are tuned to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Of course, this is talking mixed martial arts here on on Sports Byline, 11 a.m. Pacific time, Saturdays and Sundays, of course, on the line from Las Vegas, Nevada, is the great John Signorella. And Johnny, pound for pound, we sort of think that Canelo's maybe the best fighter, pound for pound. Of course, that contract. Is anybody else close to being the box office attraction that he is? I mean, he's got to have co-stars. Is there anybody else that comes close to kind of generating the kind of ratings that he does?
For Canelo, I mean, the comparison would be Anthony Joshua globally, and luckily for DAZN, they have the two top guys in the world of boxing, right? You know, Canelo and Anthony Joshua are just a ridiculous combination to have promote your outlet for content. So does anyone really come close outside of those two guys? I mean, there's potential superstars out there, but we got to make the fights, like I had said before the break, that we hope the promoters put forth. Earl Spence could be that guy. Terrence Crawford could be that guy. There's a lot of guys. The list goes on and on with who has potential for greatness and being marketable.
With boxing on Facebook and 1,000 other platforms, and of course there's lots of combat sports, mixed martial arts, meaning cage fighting, and then MMA not in a cage, and of course that's what I prefer, MMA in a ring. Somebody says, those guys will spill out on the floor. Well, I've seen a lot of MMA fights in a ring. I never saw a guy spill out on the floor, but I guess you're entitled to your own opinion. But I guess it's the cage thing. It's that cage, isn't it? It's the fact that they close the cage and they're supposed to be like just animals. That sort of adds to the aura, doesn't it?
Yeah, it adds to the appeal. It goes with the whole like billing and like how the sport is represented as a whole. You know, being a little bit more hardcore than boxing, like being like a most hardcore, if you will, combat sports outlet out there. But it is hard to see when you're at a live event through that cage. You know, I went to one at Prudential Center back in the day, and I was like, man, you know, this is tough. Aesthetically, this is not easy on the eyes. And you find yourself looking up at monitors, you know, which is not cool. If you pay a live date and you get your ticket, you got your boys with you, and you're taking all your entourage out, you know what I'm saying? And then you know, you're sitting there and you're real close, and you got your drinks, and you're looking up at the monitor. It's like, I could have just done this at home.
Man, your neck hurts like a crack hooker. It just does. It's just bad news, man. Straight up, you are tuned to the Mighty Sports Byline broadcast over. So, if the Fury and Wilder fight was the most exciting aspect of boxing in 2018, what were number 2, 3, 4? Name some other spectacular things that took place in the world of prize fighting as far as the boxing world is concerned in 2018, Johnny Sig.
I'm going to say overall, obviously, it's hard to compare anything else to that. I do like the rise of Jaime Munguia, which in turn is going to answer 3 and 4. The fact that boxing's youth is looking good, the up-and-comers, you know, there's a lot of, you know, guys out there that are just coming out of nowhere and entertaining and taking the risks necessary and the chances and the fights being available to fight anyone and risk it. That's what I want to see, and we're seeing more of that. Plus, I'm going to say I hate to say this, but the demise of HBO and the launch of networks that really care about boxing, how much boxing content was being provided as we saw 2018 close out, moving forward into 2019. So I think it's just a matter of where boxing is as a whole, being a very standout year for the sport of boxing in 2018.
You know, HBO bowing out of the boxing game since they came back. They came in 1978, I believe, with an Ali fight. I think it was 1978. Anyway, long time ago. Of course, bowing away. The Godfather said he was hurt over that. But, you know, there's so many other people and there's so many other options. And let's be honest, HBO really wasn't delivering the goods after Lou DiBello left and formed his own company.
Absolutely. And listen, man, you know, make no mistake, I loved HBO. My fondest memories in life is watching HBO boxing growing up with my father, man. Chilling out on the couch, you know, watching some boxing, learning about the sport, and greatest memories, man. But, you know, over the past couple of years prior to, like, them leaving the sport entirely, meaning HBO, they were really, you know, taking our money and holding the sport hostage. So in 2018, when they released themselves and started releasing their fighters, and even the year before that, releasing their fighters to the top-ranked fighters, rather, to ESPN, you started seeing boxing freeing up. And once they started taking their hand out of boxing, boxing all of a sudden was everywhere. So that's why I said that's probably the best thing that could have happened in 2018. Bittersweet, of course.
You are tuned to the Mighty Sports Byline broadcast. We're going to switch gears here and talk a little MMA schedule. Of course, we got the big fight tonight. Francis Ngannou and Cain Velasquez. And while I favor Cain Velasquez, and anything can happen when a guy hits as hard as Francis Ngannou hits, but, you know, let's be honest, Cain Velasquez has been knocked out by a guy that hits a lot lighter than, I mean, Junior Dos Santos is a good boxer, but he hits nothing like Ngannou.
No, Ngannou's a heavy striker, man. And, of course, we know Kane to be a great all-around fighter. He could wrestle you, he could box you, he could Muay Thai with you, and it's an even money fight as it stands right now in Vegas. And rightfully so. I think the main reason for that is because we haven't seen Kane in the ring, in the cage in a while, of course. And Francis Ngannou, has that, again, when you have that power, like I was talking about before, where it puts you on the edge of your seat, you're waiting because you know it's there, that adds the drama. The same thing like when we saw, again, to talk about Fury Wilder, a great moment, is that we knew that Tyson Fury was boxing the brakes off of Deontay, but we knew at any moment in time, if he touched him, there's that drama I'm talking about, guys. That's what I like to see. Not that I want to see people get killed, but I just want that tension. I want to know a reason why this should be compelling. And I think that we get that from Francis Ngannou tonight to make it compelling, but I'm going Cain Velasquez. I'm looking forward to this night of UFC fighting, Pete.
We talked about the UFC going to the app. Actually, they signed with ESPN. Of course, they've got this card tonight on the regular ESPN channel. But as we look to the future here, UFC on ESPN, that's going to go March 30th, and ESPN Plus, that's going to be the April 20th. UFC on ESPN 3. That's going to go down April 27th. UFC on ESPN Plus, May the 4th. UFC 237, May the 11th from Brazil. UFC on ESPN May 16th, UFC on ESPN June 1st, UFC 238 June 8th, UFC on ESPN June 22nd. I'm not trying to be redundant, and the UFC again on ESPN in June 29th. ESPN and Disney have dumped a lot of money in the UFC.
They went in heavy. They spent a lot of money to get it, and they're going to make out on their investment as much as they can. And I think what's good for what they're doing is also good for the sport of boxing, and also vice versa. Boxing, what they're doing heavily is good for the UFC. If you watch these cards, they're always promoting each other, and I think that's very, very strong. I love the bondage. I love the happy marriage now with boxing and mixed martial arts, everyone getting along. But that's smart business for them because they promote both, meaning ESPN, they promote both sports. So I like the fact that we get to see a lot of advertising on both networks.
There are
platforms, rather.
There are roughly an estimated 6,000 mixed martial arts gyms or judo places, that kind of good stuff, whatever, call it what you want, here in the United States. There's probably a minuscule amount of boxing gyms, especially in the past decade with police athletic leagues walking away from boxing and things like that. Is boxing, are there guys in the gym in Vegas?
Oh, of course. Yeah, we got plenty of gyms out here. It's very popular out here.
No, I'll say it again. Are there guys in the gym? What I'm trying to say is, are there, because it used to be when boxing was hot and heavy, those gyms in Vegas, the top-ranked gym and places like that, I mean, it was like almost standing room only to get in there.
Yeah, I mean, I go to the Mayweather gym once in a while, peep in, top rank. Yeah, it's packed, man. I used to work out at Roy Jones's gym for a while, in Henderson. And they also do MMA there, which adds a lot of allure to it, and it's huge. A lot of gyms for boxing are relatively tiny, much smaller than you guys would think, guys. But it's like, you go to Roy's gym is ridiculous, and I'd go there more frequently if it was closer. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the gyms are crowded here, man. It's Vegas. It's a fight city.
All right, interesting. You brought up Roy Jones, of course, one time the middleweight king, one time the super middleweight king, one time the light heavyweight king, one time a portion of holder of a portion of the heavyweight crown. Once Roy went, and he went badly. I mean, he's one of those guys that, did he get old overnight, or was it the fact that somebody just didn't put up with his snot and didn't go for that speed stuff and decided they were going to make contact with him? Because I always thought the key to beating these guys that are supposedly invincible is hitting them, making contact with them, not necessarily in the jaw or in the solar plex or anything like that, but hitting them on the hips and the shoulders and the arms and the elbows, hitting them. You got to make contact.
I agree. And like Antonio Tarver said, you got any excuses tonight, Roy? Here's what's up. Making no excuses for the great Roy Jones Jr. Moving up to heavyweight like he did, and then coming back down for a rematch with Antonio Tarver, I think significantly hurt him. But it also exposed him in the fact that the first time we saw Roy Jones starched, knocked out, and then it was like, oh, wait a minute. These gym rumors about him not having a great chin, they're real. So what does every fighter do that's, somewhat decent? They go right after him. And the ones that were somewhat decent, like a Glenn Johnson, tagged him again. And then, unfortunately, the chin gets weak. If it's already bad, and the next thing you know, you're getting concussive knockout, left and right, literally, one after another, it's just going to be worse and worse. So Roy, unfortunately, suffered some of the worst brutal knockouts you'd ever see for one of the greatest fighters to ever do it. Odd.
Okay, so I mean, would you call John Ruiz a great heavyweight? I mean, you know what they were calling him in Vegas? We were at a fight in Vegas, and he's at it was the Thomas and Mack Arena, not the Thomas and Mack Arena, but that little smaller arena next door. Anyway, we're rocking and rolling there for a David Tua fight or something like that, and I started yelling, Johnny Louise! Johnny Louise! And he got up and he took a bow and everything, and everybody knew that I was trolling him and dogging him except him.
It's terrible. And you look at the fate of that fight, too.
Well, but I'm saying beating him, I mean, for the heavyweight title, is that really something? Because, you know, he was handled by Howie Albert and Gil Clancy. I'm talking about John Ruiz. Howie Albert was, I think, the co-manager, I think, of him. And Howie told me, you know, the kid can't fight much. He goes, but we're going to make some money. And that's basically what this is all about. Guys don't go into fights thinking they can win every fight. They go into fights thinking hopefully they won't get hurt and they can make some money.
Yeah, you know, he was a rough fighter. You could see, like, the way his style was to rough you up on the inside, do illegal things, hold a lot. He held a lot. Drove me crazy when he fought Holyfield. I'm like,
he was an actor. I did the fight with Holyfield. I did the first fight on King TV, King Television, myself and the Colonel. And he faked that low blow. He conned Joe Cortez into thinking he got low blowed. Then his manager went to the press conference afterward, did all kinds of swearing and this kind of stuff, and that got him a rematch, and they gave him the gift in the rematch, and then they called the third fight a draw, I think. I mean, it was incredible. They really did Holyfield wrong in that.
They really did, and this is why we could do ring talk for 3 or 4 hours. I'm very passionate about this one. That was certainly a knockout to John Ruiz's body. It wasn't a low blow in the 10th round, the second fight, Holyfield Ruiz. Third fight, Holyfield breaks his nose in the first round, you know, beats the hell out of him, and they make it a draw. You know, Holyfield did hang in there too long, but he definitely got, you know, on the wrong end of some decisions. He took on Nikolai Valuev. He outweighed him by 100 pounds and a foot taller than him, and went over to Russia and really beat him for 12 rounds. They didn't give it to him. It's like, man, you guys, you know, I mean, I understood Holyfield got some favorable decisions going his way with a draw, like against Lennox as an example, but man, you guys are rough on Evander towards the end.
Johnny, who did Evander piss off for those 3 bad decisions? You are tuned to the mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
You're listening to the MMA Hour.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. That's 800-957-6063.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But The Secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Checking your tune to the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Johnny Signorella, there are over 25 boxing events scheduled for next February 22nd, 2019 around the world. Boxing's thriving, man.
Oh, it's insane. You got Fox Sports coming up the 23rd, ESPN Plus, Showtime doing it, The Zone doing it. Oh, man, it's a great time to be a boxing and a combat sports fan.
So are we going to buy, if you were a casual boxing fan, would you buy the Earl Spence-Mikey Garcia fight, yes or no?
Yes, because I believe you're going to get a knockout. I believe it's going to be an event. Again, you have two great fighters right now. I could say great with these two kids because they are really, really great at what they do collectively, you know. So at the end of the day, you're going to see a great display of boxing for however long it lasts. And I do give Mikey Garcia somewhat of a chance just because, again, Earl Spence, you know, he did take on some good level opposition, but not the A guys at 147. Does he go there after this fight? Hopefully he does. But for right now, I think it's a very intriguing fight, and people definitely should tune into that one.
Mimi from Mimi from Montreal says, mentioning Nikolai Volkov in the heavyweight championship in the same paragraph or the same sentence is sacrilegious, Mr. Signorella.
I agree, man. That's what's up.
Hey, I stood next to the guy one time down there in L.A. at a Don King show, and he had fought somebody, I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Ruiz or not, but he was just absolutely pathetic. He was a lummox and everything. And Don says to me, Pedro, can you say anything good about him? I said, he's big. I mean, that was it. I mean, that was it because we were preparing to do a TV interview, right? And Don wanted to know if I would show for him during the interview. We're leading up to this break. Anyway, bottom line is, Valuev was a nightmare to look at, but he wasn't much of a fighter. Straight up, Johnny Sig, what's happening with the YouTube.com page?
Check us out, Ring Talk Worldwide on YouTube. Check out all of our archive shows. Everyone, enjoy your Sunday.
That is the great John Signorella. We thank him so much. We want to thank the Godfather. That's right, the retired Godfather, our resident Godfather, Larry Merchant. Godfather, without a doubt, man, the HBO retired, the czar, the Hall of Famer, call him what you want, man, but to have him each week is just a blessing, and you really don't know what you're getting, folks. You got the greatest there on Larry Merchant. You are tuned to Ring Talk live on Sports Byline.
'Cause I love you so.
USA Radio News with Rick Vincent.
GOP Senator Lindsey Graham tells CBS's Face the Nation he'll hold hearings into an apparent discussion within the Department of Justice following the firing of FBI Director James Comey in 2017 about using the 25th Amendment to remove the president from office. Graham also tells CBS he supports the president's decision to declare a national emergency to get funding for a border wall.
Unfortunately, when it comes to Trump, the Congress is locked down and will not give him what we've given past presidents. So unfortunately, he's got to do it on his own, and I support his decision.
Democratic Congressman Andre Carson on CNN with some harsh words for the president.
He might as well build a 20-foot statue of himself.